Did you know that the first self-driving car was created in 1925? A former U.S. Army sergeant first attached a radio control system to a car and was able to control it through the busy streets of New York. Today, we'll be looking at, hopefully, the transportation of the future, self-driving cars. There are only 1,400 self-driving cars in the United States right now. That is out of the 286.9 million cars registered in the U.S. in 2020. From the research that I have found, these are the reasons why we should not legalize self-driving cars. Today, we'll be talking about the reasons why self-driving cars should not be legal or used, because of the crashes it can cause, the jobs that it can take away, and the cost to insure, make, and research behind the vehicles. First, we will be talking about the crashes that they can cause. One big problem with accidents involving self-driving cars is the false sense of security behind them. People can turn on the self-driving function and then do other things, such as sleeping, phone calls, or reading. Although drivers are asked to stay alert while driving, they may not follow these rules and be put into unsafe situations where the computer will not know what to do. Another way is that people can try to cheat the automated systems. One person in Tesla's testing phases was able to weigh the steering wheel down and move to the passenger seat, and the car continued to drive for him. This is very problematic because self-driving cars cannot make life or death decisions. When self-driving cars are put into situations for which they are not programmed to respond to, there will either be a no response or a response that was not meant for that situation. That could even cause an accident, serious injury, or death. As you can see in this picture here, the crashes from self-driving cars are very severe. And in my next picture here, you will see that there is a passenger in the back seat of the self-driving car with nobody in the front seat. Another issue that self-driving cars cause is the amount of jobs that they could possibly take away. In the U.S., there are many people that rely on driving for their jobs and their livelihood. One example of this is the drivers for rideshare service and taxi cabs. In 2020 alone, Uber had 5 million drivers worldwide. Uber also had set 18.7 million trips per day in 2020. Just looking at these few statistics can prove that there are so many people that rely on driving for their jobs, and that taking away jobs can harm them in many different ways. Another group of people whose jobs may be impacted are your truck drivers and delivery services like Amazon. We have already seen how the Amazon drone can affect delivery services. While automating more and more in the workplace, we also see that many more people may lose their jobs to a robot. Truck drivers are also another job that rely on driving to earn their income. If we think about how many people there are around the world that drive trucks to deliver goods to businesses and companies, and how they can potentially lose their jobs because the company wants to save money, the possibilities are endless. Another delivery service like food and groceries such as Instacart and DoorDash may also have their jobs at risk. The sheer number of people that rely on driving to earn their income or use it to support their income is out of this world. In addition to the jobs that self-driving cars can take away, self-driving cars and the research behind them will likely cost a lot. There is no question that self-driving cars will cost a lot. There are so many different components that must come together to make the car. And the software behind the self-driving cars is quite expensive. The research for self-driving cars alone just costed $16 billion. To purchase the self-driving car will also be quite expensive. For the Tesla Model 3 car, the Standard Range Plus costs $36,990 with no extra added features. With all of the features added onto it, it can cost upwards of $49,000 with only a maximum of 200 miles on each charge. That is a $13,000 increase just to let a computer drive for you. Insurance rates will also rise for these cars because it is more expensive to insure a car with expensive parts in them. I believe that we should wait for more research and for more self-driving cars to be accessible to the public before we are able to integrate them into society. There's no doubt that the self-driving cars can be a good thing for people, but just not at this moment right now. There's no way that a computer can make a decision to potentially save a life like a human can. For example, if there is a driver next to the self-driving car that makes an unexpected move, the computer will have no way of responding in the way that an alert human would be. The self-driving car may come to an unexpected conclusion, which can be dangerous for the passengers in the driving car, the self-driving car, and other drivers around them as well. I believe that we should wait for self-driving cars to be implemented more into society so there's more self-driving cars on the road and less human drivers, so that the computers will be able to always follow one track at the same time. And that will hopefully make for a safer driving experience. Today, we went over the reasons why self-driving cars should not be used or legal in the United States, because of the crashes that it can cause, the jobs that can be taken away, and the cost to insure and maintain the self-driving cars, and the software behind them as well. Self-driving cars are a good idea in theory, but just not for right now. There still needs to be a lot more research before we can use them. If you had access to a self-driving car, would you use it?